Welcome everyone to Hastily Kayfabed recap, where two of us are dying, one of us is about to get flooded out, and the other one's trapped in California.
Although we have one missing, but he's just busy.
Yeah,
as
he's
hell.
at work.
Well, he's at work,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so nothing we can do about that.
nothing we can do about
Because-
that.
Because when it
and
came,
as the audience could tell, I'm one of the ones that's dying.
because when it came to either work or to do this show, he said, "Fuck it, I'll go to work."
That sounds about right.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
While I sip on some lovely tea, how are you gentlemen doing?
Well, I actually go ahead.
Feel better.
And no, this isn't the Brassers pictures you guys are looking at. This is actually Asuka, NXT's newest tag team, the Street Profits.
Oh fuck! I forgot they were on this week.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
they made their debut this week.
It's what
I gotta watch that.
I forgot that NXT did a whole bunch of tapings until Brooklyn. I forgot they did like 2 months worth of taping.
Yeah, like all the taping for it's done all the way through through the end of August, basically.
Yeah, I think even after SummerSlam.
After SummerSlam.
I think probably 1 week after is probably what they got.
Now, before we get started, I'm about to drink an experiment. Now, while I was waiting for my tea to boil, I had some leftover Kool-Aid, and it was supposed to be Kool-Aid and seltzer water. I don't have seltzer water. I have the Soda Stream, though. So,
By the way, Kool-Aid with no sugar. By the way,
well, you know what I mean. That's a little sugar-free Kool-Aid where you don't have to add the sugar.
oh
Yeah.
So it's actually sugar-free rather than.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I ain't got no motherfucking sugar.
Yeah, that actually sugar-free instead of, oh my god, I have no more sugar. It's called saving money. I've been actually doing it well for a couple of months. That's how come I'm able to get a new bed finally. Though my dumbass thought it was supposed to come yesterday, and I stayed up all day, not knowing it actually comes next week. Anyway, if I die, this is my final words and testament. Fuck the Bucks.
Good words to go out on, rather than just a fart after you said you were going to fart out your cancer.
Let's say Bucks are going to come up, but they're not. They may be young and they're Bucks, but they're not Matt and Nick Jackson.
Sad thing is, it's not that bad. It's like Kool-Aid soda.
They already make Kool-Aid soda.
Oh God.
Well, anyway,
It's called Minute Maid Sparkling Waters or some shit like that.
Oh my gosh, he actually had an answer. I thought he was going to come up with something weird.
No,
Semi-offensive.
when I went to the fucking movie theater, Minute Maid actually makes a soda now.
oh wow. As you can as anyone could tell, this is not going to be a major wrestling episode. This is going to be what we do before and after the show, which is shoot the shit. So
yeah, so we're hoping this will increase our rating.
You mean I actually have stuff to talk about in wrestling and nobody else does?
pretty much.
Holy crap!
I guess the only thing I can think of is for the news, WWE has budget cuts.
Which is nothing new.
Yeah.
Stop giving away your fucking network for free every month. Maybe you'll actually make.
You notice this month they're not giving it away for free for SummerSlam.
Well, it's too little, too late.
What else? Oh yeah, Paige and Del Rio are going under the guillotine soon.
Just remember, when we go in the radio show, you hit me. I did not hit you.
That's...
all that news is crap. Who cares? It's all about the broken gimmick.
Wait, we finally have a finale to this? I thought this was going to end in court.
No.
That's the thing. Apparently, the ongoing saga of TNA, Impact, Anthem, Fuck the Owl, GFW, whatever. All of the trademark requests by that particular company have all been denied. For several reasons.
Because Ed Norham's an asshole?
You don't even have to be personal. They're actually going on the lines of, well, Nero is this guy's real name, so you can't trademark that. And Matt Hardy is using his real name for Broken Matt Hardy, so you can't trademark that. They can't even trademark Vanguard 1.
Because
That's
it's too
how
common
fucked
word.
they are.
Because Vanguard's a common word.
Because Vanguard's a common word.
You can't trademark an act.
No.
Because in that case, the WWE will suit the Dudleys the second they pull down a table.
Yeah. So what I think is going on, and what Reed astutely observed, was that I think they're going to change the gimmick from broken to woken. But essentially it's the same fucking gimmick.
It's the same damn gimmick.
It's the same gimmick. It's the same gimmick, but at least it gives them an opportunity to use it, but under a different name.
It gives them an out. It gives them an out, which is fine by me.
Yeah. Plus, at this point, even if they could be broken, that to me tells me that they can't really trademark it either, because they are using their real names and the words are too common for it and all that. So yeah, there's the tweet right there. So they've been teasing it, and I think they're pretty close. They had a big, they had a thing on Raw, after Raw promo.
Yeah, it's right there on it's the pinned tweet where it actually shows the video.
I would put the video on here, but I don't want us getting taken off of Twitch or YouTube when this goes up.
Yeah, but pretty much it's almost all a go to use that. And there's only one other thing that I could think of, but it's kind of dirt sheety.
What's that?
Well, it's going to affect my standing on what I predict for SummerSlam.
Which is?
Paul Heyman is Samoa Joe to win the title.
Which I'm all for, to be honest.
And Joe has apparently impressed the most important person in the company,
Vince.
Yeah.
Nice. Also,
and for anyone watching the live stream, here's the link to the tweet.
I should just say this right now. Just looking at Jeff Hardy, he is now officially known on Twitter as #Brother Nero.
Because you can't trademark someone's real last name.
Real middle name.
And they also technically can't trademark obsolete because
that's
Jeff
a common
Hardy
word.
Well, not that only that, but Jeff Hardy came up with the song. He came up with the whole idea of that.
Well, remember, Anthem wanted to go as far as to have Jeff give up royalties, quote unquote, for his music and art. Something that has nothing to do with wrestling.
Yeah, 50%, right?
That's almost so he wants to pull a Vern Gagne then.
Pretty much.
Oh well, you go to Japan, I get a part of your cut.
Well, it's even worse because at least Vern was trying to go for wrestling cuts. It's like, okay, and your art and your music. Wait, what? What does that have to do with wrestling?
It's still something that you do away from him that he had nothing to do with.
I know.
Exactly.
And by the way, this is somewhat wrestling related. You know how Rebby Sky has been opening her mouth about the whole situation with the broken gimmick?
To the point where lawyers probably trying to commit suicide right now?
And to the point that it's like, there is no other person in the world that could be as annoying as that could be so bitchy. And then come to find out, Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend said, "Hold my beer," and decided to call the Ray Lewis of the Ravens and Uncle Tom.
Oh,
yeah,
I heard about this. Like, for the people just walking in, this is going to be a bullshit episode. There is wrestling we're going to talk about. It's going to be sprinkled in between, especially since football season's starting up.
Someone actually topped Rebby Sky on Twitter.
God.
And they wonder why Colin still does not have a job.
No, he has a job. He got hired by the Jets.
No, he didn't.
doesn't-
That's fake news.
Oh, where's?
Dude, the second I saw that on Jason's stream, I went through every single. I went to NFL.com. I went to NewYorkJets.com. I have the NFL app on my phone. If that guy would have got hired, one of them would have said, "Oh yeah, Colin Kaepernick's a Jet." The only other thing that showed that Kaepernick was a Jet is Wikipedia, and you know anyone and their grandmother could.
Gotcha. Well, I'll say this much.
It's not exactly turducken as tasty. It's Hastily Kayfabed football wrestling show.
Kaepernick was a shitty quarterback.
No, here's the thing.
Politics aside, he's free. He's free to protest all he wants, whether we agree with it or not. Do we agree with that?
Hey, I was in the United States Navy, and the vow I went under was, I may not agree with what you say, but I am sworn to defend your right to say it. I live to that to this day.
However, he has no right to a job that he can't live up to. And after that one graceful year in the 49ers that he had, everyone wanted to suck Kaepernick's dick. I swear, it was so bad in where I used to live. It was bad. Oh, and how come Kaepernick's not doing what he normally does and this and that? Yeah, I know they've restrained him and whatnot, but they figured him out. He was a one-trick pony. He's a shit quarterback. That's why he's not getting let on.
I'm like, it's the same reason that Tim Tebow didn't find a new job.
No. You got it all wrong.
Ooh.
Here's what happened with Kaepernick. And I said it on my show this past week.
I thought you said it on the show tonight.
Well, I did a show yesterday, too.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing with Kaepernick. The reason why he doesn't have a job is because he can't play. He's got no talent.
Yeah.
Now,
we're agreeing with that. He's a shit quarterback.
Now listen. You're basically, the year he won the Super Bowl, the year he won the Super Bowl, he had a 12-8 record, I believe. Let me check. Because I have
I don't think the Niners won the Super Bowl. I think they just win.
No, they didn't. No, they lost.
Yeah, I was about to say Kaepernick won.
There we go. He was 12-4 when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. The following year, he was 8-8.
Yep.
That's a big fall off.
Now, it gets worse. In 2015, he was 2-6.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2016, he was 1-10.
And that's before he lost his job to Blake Bortles.
And the thing was, with him getting worse each year, he pretty much went to the 49ers and said, I deserve better. I'm going somewhere, because they want to resign him. But he told them to basically shove it up your ass and going somewhere else.
The problem is, no one's going to pay starter money for a third stringer at best.
Yeah.
And he's finding out the hard way that nobody wants him. I mean, you could sit there and say he's being blackballed and all this bullshit, but let's be honest with each other, okay? If he was playing as good as he did in that Super Bowl year, or say if he was playing as good as Brent Roethlisberger every year delivering, or even playing as good as Dak Prescott did last year, if he played as good as that, his stance on the national anthem would not be an issue, and he would have no problem finding a job.
Look at Michael Vick. He went to jail.
He went to jail, and they brought him back.
When he came out, the Eagles and the Jets wound up taking him.
Which is really interesting.
And I think it's funny, all these people sitting there saying, Kaepernick did nothing wrong.
He did. He just sucks.
Here's the better thing. Oh, well, Kaepernick didn't do anything. Exactly.
That's the problem.
Hey, that's why he doesn't have a job, because the people his team's negotiating with him. But the thing is,
like he was negotiating with the Jets and they didn't want him. He was negotiating with the freaking Ravens and they got the arena quarterback.
Now he's negotiating with the Dolphins
because homeboy got season-ending injury.
Yep. But here's the thing. Two things with that. Firstly, what team is going to take a chance on the backlash if he can't play.
Cleveland.
If he can play, they'll take the chance on him. But because he can't, they're not going to. And second of all, he wants all of this money for 1 year. He went to the Jets basically saying, I want $9 million for 1 year.
Just like, no, we're rebuilding, motherfucker.
It's funny how Richard Sherman said, oh, well, the reason Kaepernick isn't hired is because it's more of a stay in your place type of thing. Yeah, it is. In a way, because, you got all these people. It's to the point that they'd rather take a chance on somebody that's not proven rather than somebody who hasn't been proven. It's like with Kaepernick, what you're going to get. He's going to suck. But with, a new quarterback or somebody that's never thrown it past in the NFL.
Like, okay, let's compare it to Kaepernick and, given I'm a Jets fan, Christian Hackenberg. You'd rather take the chance with Hackenberg because while the reports on him isn't exactly favorable, he's never actually thrown a pass in the NFL, and he's still young. He can still learn.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous that people want to throw, and that's the bad part with society in general. Everyone wants to throw around the fucking race card instead of looking at the real reasons for something to be done.
Yeah.
It's easier to throw the race card and say, oh, he doesn't have a job because he's black, rather than say, hey, well, look at his record and say, wait a minute, he doesn't have a job because his record's been declining every year.
And he's demanding starting money, though supposedly he's at least got off that gravy train.
And then you got a girlfriend that'll sit there and call the team's owner an uncle. You got this fucking girlfriend sitting there calling your star player an Uncle Tom, and basically saying that the team owner is raised as a slave owner, and putting up a picture from Django Unchained just because they wouldn't hire your boyfriend.
Yeah, Ray Lewis is a Hall of Famer, and your boyfriend's looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have any negotiation room.
Yeah.
But to sit there, and it's funny, because to me, personally, and I'm not black, so you can sit there and say, well, you're wrong about this, and I can't really say anything about it. But to me personally, as soon as you call someone an Uncle Tom or another racial slur, you lost that ability to play your race.
I can't counter because John. Well, most of the people here know my stance on the race card. The second you play the race card, you just show me you have no other cards to play.
Yeah,
I'm just going.
Pretty much.
It's going to be like a game of Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh at that point. I'm just going to sit there, wait the next turn when you officially deck out.
But to me, it's like once you pull a racial slur out of your ass, to me, you lost the sympathy of being able to use your race because of something. Oh well, they won't hire me. They won't hire me because I'm black, but yet you'll sit there and you have your girlfriend call someone an Uncle Tom.
And this isn't me saying that, oh my god, racism doesn't exist. It does.
It does.
It does.
Oh, sure does.
Of course it does. It sucks that it exists, but
that's the whole point of coon tax is to make fun of it.
Yeah, but the whole idea is you don't justify the racism, you rise above it.
Yeah, and just in there pity me, poor me.
So let's go back to talking about wrestling for
wrestling.
minutes.
So
and then we might actually bounce around in the NFL. So
I have a retraction to make.
What's that?
I have a retraction to make. So last week I talked about the bullshit with Omega getting his feet tied up with plastic wrap and then doing the stupid shit spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I now have more information as to why the match went the way it did.
Oh boy.
Remember how I said that there was some other guy that was involved in that match and I had no idea who it was?
Yeah.
You're going to have to look him up. The guy's name is Yano. Yano.
Eh?
Exactly. He's a fucking comedy wrestler.
Ah.
Now...
Well, technically, isn't Kenny Omega a comedy wrestler too?
He's a comedy wrestler, just happens to be the U.S. champion of.
He just happens to be the U.S. champion and actually apparently throws on good matches when he actually wants to be serious. Here's the problem. I personally don't think the match should have been there at all. I managed to catch a highlight of Meltzer and Brian Alvarez bullshitting about that particular match. And Meltzer goes on to say he understood the match, he was okay with the match. I'd probably dare say that he probably liked the match, but it should have been on.
Most masturbates to anything from Japan.
Well, here's the thing. Well, we know Meltzer masturbates to anything in Japan, but he won't. He said that the match didn't belong in G1. That was the big problem. Now so, I agree. I agree with it. I also think that it should have been a step further, and I don't think the match should have ever existed.
Mm-hmm. The match shouldn't have happened at all. Why did they even ask Omega to even do it in the first place?
Here's the problem. Yano is involved in G1. He's going to have 9 matches.
So there's going to be 9 more times we're going to see this dude.
9 more times you're going to see this. At least another 8 more times you're going to see this dude working comedy matches.
Oh boy.
So I can't solely place the blame on Kenny Omega this time because I don't think it was necessarily his idea. He can wrestle a comedy match. We've seen, and mind you, I don't mind seeing a comedy match in the right context. I mean, for crying out loud, Wrestle Circus. They fucked up.
I have a great idea for Wrestle Circus, by the way.
Uh-oh.
You know how they want donations and shit like that?
Yes.
I want to just go up to one of their shows. Yeah, you remember you ever see those coupon books that you fucking get at Wendy's for Frosties every Halloween?
No.
I want to get a couple of those and put that in the donation bin.
So, if you never hear from John again, audience, that's what happened.
Yeah, the boys actually flew out to Jersey and pounded him into paste.
No, John never made it back to Jersey. They just saw what happened. Just chased him.
Well,
I gave them all free Junior Frosties, though.
Gosh, I could go Jim Cornette and say, all right, you're 500 miles from nowhere with no bank account and a stack of coupons for Junior Frosties. What can you do with that? Absolutely fucking nothing.
No, not even the coupons, because he gave them away.
Well, the person holding the coupons now. Just we know. I know why the donations are there. It's so that money sticks to the ceiling. That's to help give bonuses for the boys. That stuff doesn't go to the livelihood of the
promoter.
Of the promoter.
Sounds like a bunch of homeless people to me.
Anyway,
say that to Brian Cage to his face.
Once again, we will not see John again, or at least not.
Fuck. What's next? Was the boys gonna come out with a fucking stick and a cup during their entrance? Yo, got any money? Donations?
Anyway.
Well, to be fair, to add on to this, to be fair, that's not necessarily a problem because they already got people throwing bills into the ring. That's apparently a lucha libre thing, as opposed to what most of us would think of.
Last place I see people throwing money at anything is a strip club.
Yeah, I know. That was obvious. But apparently it's a lucha libre thing. Like, if you like the match that much, people start throwing money into the ring.
Really?
Apparently.
I never seen that.
Yeah.
I guess it's a thing.
I guess we can.
Leo Rush got some of that. Shade Strickland got some of that. I want to say the Lucha Brothers got some of that.
So would it be possible for us to say throw dollar bills in the ring so we don't see John Cena again?
We're going to be seeing John.
I don't think that's.
We're going to be seeing John Cena for a while, but it won't be in the SummerSlam main event.
Yeah. Thankfully. I mean, but that was actually newsworthy. I completely forgot about that because of
Surprised that Mr. Felix Anthony Cena decided to do the job.
not, 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 not only that, but this was interesting. The amount of class that do you remember the suplex that he took?
You mean that? Oh my God, how is he still alive?
The one he took on his head. Yes, Nakamura actually went back to apologize, and apparently Cena's response was apologize for what?
Well, one, John could take it. He's a professional. Two, it's personally John's fault for not flipping correctly.
Well,
Yeah, he landed it on his head.
Yeah. So
that is class by John, because John could have always went to Vince and said, "Fuck this guy," and he'll be halfway back to Japan before he could say what the hell happened.
True, but that's still classy in my opinion. So.
True.
Um.
So yeah, if anyone has to figure it out, Shinsuke Nakamura has defeated John Cena clean as a sheet, and will be going on to face Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam.
And you know what's funny about that? WWE actually screwed up the finish on their fucking.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Corbin coming in and fucking things up.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Corbin coming in to interfere, but I guess because when John took the exploder, it was like a minute left, so he just had to eat a Kinshasa.
Yeah, basically, and they actually let it through on the app. Oh well, because I actually thought myself, oh, Baron Corbin interfered, causing Shinsuke to win.
Well, no, what happened? Corbin didn't come out until after the match was over. He attacked Shinsuke, and then John attacked him and put him through the table. What happened is
they had it ready to go on their app, the notification.
Oh,
yeah, they did. They had all that.
So they had it all set up, so they didn't think, "Oh my God, we ran out of time" before Corbin could come in.
Yep.
Interesting.
And they're letting it. I mean, they're letting it go. That I mean, it's very.
Well, they let it go. They still got the results they want. Shinsuke wins the match, and they still got the setup they want, which looks like it's going to be Corbin versus Cena at SummerSlam.
Some tells me they're going to have fucking Nakamura win the belt from Jinder,
and then Corbin's going to cash in. Well, we also got a couple other SummerSlam matches, and one that may or may not be off the table. Tozawa last week did win his match. He'll be going on to face Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. Which
I may as well get a fucking NXT belt.
Yeah, really. Speaking of NXT, Ember Moon will be facing Asuka for the NXT Women's Belt.
That 12 months ago.
We all called it months ago. We called it 3 months ago, back when she was injured. Back before she was injured.
I'm just hoping they let her win, because they did say that on the .com that if Asuka retains after SummerSlam, she will be the second longest reigning women's champion of all time, behind Moolah herself.
I was gonna say, and nobody's gonna catch up to Moolah.
No one's catching the Moolah. not any year soon.
Unless they decide to disqualify it because of reasons.
I doubt it, especially
doubt it. Yeah,
Hall of Famer.
But a lot of things have come to light since Moolah's death, and how she kind of fucked over the girls a lot, and how she kind of kept herself up at the top. Kind of the same way that someone seems to claim that Austin's doing things, but
he's not. He's not here right now. So,
but he's not here right now. But apparently, I guess that was one of the reasons why it's not the Moolah Classic. It's the Mae Young Classic. That was one of those reasons.
What else? We already know that damn it, Drew McIntyre will be facing Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship.
Oh, that's going to be such a good match. I don't care who wins or loses. We're going to win that match. We're going to win that one.
Fatal 4-way for the Universal Championship, which we already hinted that Heyman is pushing for Joe to win, which I think makes the most sense, because you want to get... If Lesnar's stepping down, then you want someone just as destructive to replace him. Because right now, Roman Reigns is the face, so that's not going to work. And Braun Strowman, while he is a destructive force of nature, isn't quite ready for a world championship run yet. Joe has the experience, he has the reputation with the fans.
He has the power to show he can do it.
And he showed that he can beat Lesnar clean.
That's kind of the funny thing about that, was that they were so ready for Strowman to go against Lesnar, and was it the injury that did it or something? I forget what did it that caused them to kind of sour on it a little bit. But of course they still want, their champion, so they go to their go-to. But then they see Joe take on Lesnar. And somehow Vince decided that Joe might not be a bad thing in the main event after all.
No, because I probably think when he saw that, I wouldn't be surprised that entire match. Actually, I don't know if it's been clarified. Was that entire match like off the cuff?
I don't know if it was off the cuff.
I don't know if it was the cuff, but I'm pretty sure they were calling it part. Someone speak.
They were probably calling some of it in the ring. They probably had a regular, a decent idea of what they were going to do.
They had a plan, but they didn't pre-plan it. They just had here's a few things we could do, but everything else, just go run with it.
We got this bit here. You remember this thing you did with Kurt Angle? Let's do this. Why don't we do this? Why don't we modify it a little bit? We'll do that. We'll do this. We'll just finish this off, and then we're done.
I can breathe.
It's like the old days where they go, hey, you remember that thing we did in Memphis? Let's do it here. Okay. And then they do that. Never would go over like hotcakes. Of course, we still have. Of course, I'm also mentioning the territories. So that's another thing altogether. I do want to plug Wrestle Circus though, because we do have.
Okay, let's just go through the rest of the matches real quick that we know of.
Okay.
Let me try to remember again. Looks like it's gonna be Usos New Day again for SummerSlam. Naomi, who's she going against? I forgot.
Natty.
Natty, that's right.
Natty Neidhart.
And the match with a question mark on it. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss because Bayley has a shoulder injury. And
is that a kayfabe injury or an actual injury?
I don't know. They showed her shoulder wrapped up. And so
but they showed it. But they showed it on the After Raw things on YouTube.
True, but we don't know if it's going. Well, right now it's supposed to be X-rays right now, so I don't know if it's kayfabe or real. We'll probably find out in a couple of weeks. By next week.
Yeah, that's the thing that that got me. I'm sitting here going, they wouldn't put that injury on the YouTube thing immediately. Because
that video didn't come up until after SmackDown went off the air.
Because Nia can you could actually pull that bit off with Nia Jax. You beat Nia Jax, but you came out a little more hurt than you thought. So if it's a real injury, I'm sorry. Bayley deserves better than that. She definitely deserves to be in that main event. But if it's a kayfabe thing, don't say I didn't tell you so, because I told you so.
All right. Well, time to plug your Wrestle Circus.
So I got to get to the thing. Where is it? Because they just put out the card. They just put out the card.
1 second. Lou.
There it is.
Did John do his special report on butt stuff?
Butt stuff.
John?
No, he has no, he hasn't yet.
No, he hasn't. I don't know if it's. I know he has a special report coming up, and I know we're probably going to talk about more football and reasons why Cap doesn't have a job yet, but...
What report?
I don't know.
That apparently on butt stuff. Because Lou wants to know about that. He's interested. He wants the inside scoop on butt stuff, apparently.
That's because Lou has sexual tendencies that he doesn't want to own up to.
All right, so I don't know if you guys remember who Lance Hoyt was.
Lance Hoyt sucked. I know
Well,
that.
John
he has an open challenge. On top of that, we have Team Jervis versus Team Austin the Ref, which of course is completely and totally gimmicky.
So somebody actually hired Lance White for his show.
He's been on commentary since the beginning.
Well, there you go.
I think he's local to Austin. I think that's the only reason why. But anyway, Team Jervis. Anyway, Gentleman Jervis has an issue with Austin the Ref because he was revealed as the guy that was sending out the people from the wrestling school to go after him and beat him up. At which point he completely screwed up the bit and tried to say it was me, Austin, all along, and it didn't work out very well, at which point he just kind of got carried away. So we'll be a tag team, which is Super Beetle and Space Monkey with Gentleman Jervis versus Ethan Page and JC Rez with Austin the Ref in their corner. And Ethan Page, if you don't know what he looks like, he's basically a fat Johnny Gargano. He is. He's basically a fat Johnny Gargano. It's like, yo, you throw.
I got a great partner for Space Monkey, by the way.
What's that?
He already has one.
You can call him Porch Monkey.
Oh God.
And continue, please.
Now they're actually going to have a women's number one contender. Their women's championship is the Lady of the Ring. Their number one contender, Rachel Ellering, will go up against Christy James, excuse me. Intergender match, which might also explain why this person quietly left GFW-ish. Kevin Condren versus Brandy Rhodes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so Brandy's going to wrestle. Now, here's the thing. Kevin Condren is a manager. So he's actually a fairly well-built manager, but he's a manager. He manages Scorpio Sky, okay?
So it's going to basically be a Jim Cornette baby doll match.
Kind of, yeah. However, there is a stipulation, as Lance Russell will say. And I'm going to save that stipulation for the main event when I talk about that. There will be a fatal four-way match. I don't know if it's for the Pro Wrestling Revolver mid-card title, but Jordan Lennox will be in it along with Flip Gordon, Angelico, and of course, one of my favorite guys, Brian Cage, will be there, and I hope he tears right through him. There will be a flippy-do match between JT Dunn and Sammy Guevara. Guevara's actually pretty good, but they're all flippy-do. There will be 2 championships decided at once. The Lady of the Ring and the Sideshow Championship will be decided at the same time, as Lou Fisto makes her debut in Wrestle Circus and will be going up against the current double champion, Tessa Blanchard. The tag team titles will be decided. The current champions, Roppongi Vice, will go up against Adam Cole and Britt Baker? Yes, apparently they're a tag team now. I don't
even know who half these people are.
Say again?
I don't even know who half these fucking people are.
I remember Adam Cole, but
Adam Cole, almost everybody knows. He was one of the many that was. One of the few that was unceremoniously dumped by the Bullet Club. Thank goodness.
Dumped or saved or released.
Yes. But Britt is his girlfriend. But Roppongi Vice, or as they abbreviated, RPG Vice, they were the former IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. Yeah, they're actually pretty interesting. Rocky was involved in the big may or may not have been a white powdery substance spot at Bar Wrestling 2. And then we get to the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Scorpio Sky. So this is the big thing. They've got their marquee guy there. They've got Cody Rhodes up at the marquee. That'll bring people in. However, there is a stipulation. You remember how I mentioned Brandy versus Kevin Condren?
Mm-hmm.
If Kevin Condren beats Brandy Rhodes, Cody will defend the Ring of Honor World title in that match. So it may be that we will actually see the Ring of Honor World title defended at another show.
Which has
But
been
was
done
it?
before.
Say again?
But was it? And I think I lost everybody.
I think I lost everybody. Yeah, it was just
I'm
like,
here.
And I
yeah,
think
so
Reed ran away somewhere.
ran away. Yeah, so yeah, and that show actually takes place in 2 days. So twitch.tv/Wrestle Circus. I'll be there making sure John doesn't give away coupons.
No, make sure he does. We need documented proof of, of his execution.
I might just show up with my world heavyweight belt and just beat everybody.
Before or after Brandy Rose just locks you in the armbar and starts laughing.
God. Well, but by that point, Cody will come out. Although he might like Tessa feeling him up, but then he'll get suplex, and that'll be a bad thing.
Hey, he'll die happy.
I might win the Ring of Honor World title and just throw it in the trash.
Oh, so you're gonna pull a Medusa?
You're gonna pull a Medusa is what you're gonna do.
Well, actually, no. The Ring of Honor belt I take to the pawn shop and see how much I can get for it.
About $3.
And all the Wrestle Circus belts will probably throw in the trash.
Yeah, Dan. This is our show.
This is the show.
This is the show.
Honestly, a lot of the wrestling is pretty good. Tessa and Rachel were the main event on the last show, and they actually had a really, really good match. Right down to Tessa actually having to do a modification, but she pulled a Tully. She pulled Tully's finisher out of his playbook. Although it was a side suplex rather than a regular spring suplex, she still did that, and then she basically did a code breaker off the top rope to get the win.
Ow!
That'd be great. That'd be a great idea. Does Wrestle Circus do like pre-tapes and shit or no?
Do what?
One second, fellas. This is normally a wrestling podcast, but there's so little to do with wrestling this week. We're probably just going to bullshit about nerd topics for the next hour and a half.
Do they do pre-tapes?
Yeah. The pre-tape segment.
On occasion, but none of them are wrestling involved. The only thing that they do what they'll do is they'll actually have the older shows on rotation. See, Wrestle Circus is actually fairly new. They haven't been around for a year yet, in fact.
Yeah.
So that's why I never heard of them until recently.
Because it'd be great for a pre-tape. You bring Tully Blanchard to the show, and the whole time you have him looking for Jesus.
Oh no!
and then fucking he can't. Have him look in different places and he can't find him.
Oh no!
And near the end of the show, you have him come out to try to find him in the middle of the. He gets the clue that he's going to be in the middle of the ring. So Tully goes to the middle of the ring, and all of a sudden he finds Jesus. And you hear Black G's, you hear the music, and all of a sudden Black G shows up.
Oh, gosh. Well, actually, it's a little more. I just realized how awkward it is for Tessa for Tessa every so often, because remember how I said she didn't win with Tully's move?
Yeah.
I completely forgot that Tully's ex-wife married someone rather.
Yeah, Magnum.
Yeah.
So you think she's gonna win the Magnum?
Tessa is Magnum's stepdaughter.
I've had Tessa on my Facebook even before she started her career.
Yeah. Tessa, that code breaker that I mentioned off the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Magnum. It's named after her stepdad.
Oh boy.
The guy that stabbed Tully in the face.
Well, nothing sweeter revenge than fucking your rival's wife.
Well, there you go.
Oh.
We still have a lot of show left, but if anyone's actually here and wanting to hear more pro wrestling stuff, we're kind of done.
But you know what's called you know what else is called the Magnum?
What's that?
Wrapping your Ferrari around a telephone pole.
Not everybody can be. Well, that wasn't a Nick Hogan. Nick Hogan. Did he rap a Ferrari on the telephone pole?
No, I think he just wrapped it through everything.
Mm.
And it wasn't the guy who made the Gizmondo. He literally cut his car in half. That's how badly he crashed it.
I thought it was the fucker that Elon Musk, the guy that makes Teslas.
Yeah.
Those fucking cars. And I think he was the one that wrapped his Ferrari around.
It could be worse. It could be. Actually, John, you did see the Cowboys game. How was it?
It was horrible. It was literally a bunch of second and third stringers, and every other play was a penalty.
That's how it starts. It's always the second.
Welcome to the Hall of Fame game.
So I literally just spent most of my time loading games onto the Vita. And by the by, I am so fucking glad that Kurt Warner's getting in this year.
Oh damn! Yeah.
All deserved.
So my team's gonna blow chunks this year. How's the Giants looking?
A lot better than the fucking Jets, I'll tell you that much.
Hey, I admit this year is going to be rough. I don't know how many people are saying, "Oh, the Jets are going." The Jets. I'll give the Jets players this: they're young, and they say, "Oh yeah, we're going to go far." Everybody else sees it for what it is. We're going to get spanked for 16 weeks, but it's going to be worth it when this team builds up into something credible.
We could have been okay, but Victor Cruz turned on us, so fuck him.
Hey, you got Brandon Marshall and
by the way, this should be mentioned. Preseason NFL football just started, and already the Browns have been eliminated.
I think the Browns have been eliminated since the end of last season. Like I said, hey, at least Kaepernick might find a home there. It's not like they have a team to play with.
Let me tell you something. The fucking Cleveland Browns are so goddamn bad that the Elizabeth Minutemen could easily have a 40-point lead over them in a game.
Mind you, the Elizabeth Minutemen are a high school team, and they're not exactly doing good this year.
I mean, the Cleveland Browns are so fucking bad that they can't even play in a pee-wee football league.
So at least we know what game they're going to send to London next year. The Browns versus the freaking not the Jaguars.
Hold on a second. Let me look at my iPad a minute.
I was joking about that. Even London doesn't deserve to deal with the Browns.
Hold on a second. By the way, you know they have a game in Mexico this year, right? Which would be interesting.
Who are they going to send down there? Oh yeah, the Browns.
And it's fun. Are they sending the Browns?
I don't know.
Because if they send the Browns, then that would be actually pretty accurate because that's exactly what you get when you drink the water down there.
And welcome to the show, everyone. Our 3 viewers that just left.
Here's the thing. I got the dream matchup.
Uh-oh.
The Cleveland Browns versus the Elizabeth Packers.
The Elizabeth Packers are the Pee-wee. It's the Pee-wee team.
And I'm going to tell you this. I'd give the Elizabeth Packers at least a 1,000-point spread versus the Cleveland Browns.
NFL. Oh. The Raiders versus the Patriots in Mexico City.
So not only are they going to be not only are the fucking Raiders going to get the fifth, but they're also going to get raped and fucked in the ass. Happens when you go to Mexico.
Can I also say I forgot they are in Los Angeles now?
No, the Raiders are still in Oakland.
The Raiders are still up in Oakland, and I thought they were moving to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got fucking stuck with the Chargers. That pissed me off. That pissed me off.
Whatever, it's funny. They say whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So I'm guessing that the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was joking earlier, They really are sending the Browns to freaking London this year.
Oh boy.
It'll be the
Oh.
Browns, the Browns, the Vikings, the Jaguars, and the Ravens are the teams going across the pond this year.
Oh, the Browns. That's actually another. That's actually another. Fuck. What the hell is that word? That's another good pairing because that's exactly what the fucking London air looks like. Brown. All the smog.
So here's the international games: Patriots versus Raiders in Mexico City.
That's going to be an ass raping on TV.
Saints versus Dolphins at Wembley Stadium.
Damn, what the fuck did London do to deserve?
Get that.
Cardinals versus Rams in Twickenham Stadium in London.
Did you say it's probably Twickenham, but
Twickenham probably.
Twickenham, but
Ravens versus Jaguars at Wembley.
No, what the fuck did the English do to deserve that?
They lost to us 200 plus years ago.
And finally, the Vikings versus the Browns at Twickenham.
Sorry, British people that aren't watching this.
Yo. So you tell me that they're actually going to have a toilet bowl game in London.
October 29th at 9 a.m.
Oh, God.
The first time there's going to be an international toilet bowl match. You're going to hear the fucking NFL, the da-da-da-da, and all of a sudden you're going to get flushed in the toilet.
I'm still surprised that Patriots are leaving the country for once. I thought they could just walk up to this guy and like, no, we're not doing any international games. Go fuck yourself.
Here's the thing. I am surprised. This is a missed opportunity. Clorox can have like certain games like that. Clorox can call it the toilet bowl, and then you can call it the toilet bowl and have Clorox sponsor it.
Which game? With the exception of the Patriots, I don't think any of these teams are going anywhere this season.
Guaranteed to suck.
Say again?
All the games that are guaranteed to suck.
So the other 4 games.
Pretty much.
Let me rephrase that. The games that are not being played in Mexico this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still surprised. Oh, boy.
I tell you, those Raider players are not going to be able to sit down for a couple of weeks after that game.
Hey, maybe with any luck, the Madden curse will kick in and kill Tom Brady somewhere.
I hope so. Because did you see this fucking bullshit? Apparently the fucking Patriots have already sent their championship game tickets.
Like, we're going to AFC. They sent it to all their freaking season ticket holders. That's why, like, please let them get eliminated. I know they're going to the playoffs because the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins aren't going to stop them. But God, let them get eliminated week.
Can you imagine if the Cleveland Browns somehow make it to the playoffs and then eliminate the Patriots?
And that being one of Belichick's former teams, too. They'll never. That will be the Madden curse kicking in. No one will ever let that down.
By the way, it was nice that the Cowboys actually found enough players that weren't actually play the team.
That's not in jail or incarcerated or waiting for bail.
I could tell exactly how that game went this evening. Fucking Cowboys run around town. You ever see the movie Little Giants?
Yeah.
When they're recruiting for the Giants team, they just go around the town. Do you like football? You ever heard of football? Great, you could be on our team. That's pretty much Cowboys this evening.
The Cowboys opened the preseason with a 20-18 win against the Arizona Cardinals. The starting defense allowed 2 touchdowns on the first 15 plays, but Kellen Moore and Cooper Rush threw a touchdown pass apiece to help the Cowboys lead the Hall of Fame game win. What does this mean? That means the Cowboy fans are already predicting Super Bowl. Yes, on Twitter, Cowboy fans are already predicting the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Tell the Cowboy fans that.
Hey, Cowboy fans, it's not going to happen. You're still the cow bitches. You're America's team because America fucking hates you. And if you ever play the Patriots, we'll cheer for the Patriots over you.
Actually, let me see. I think no, they don't play the Patriots this year, unless
If they go to the Super Bowl, they would.
Yeah, if the Cowboys ever get to the Super Bowl.
But Ezekiel Elliott's got to stop date raping people first and beating up women.
Well, this doesn't look good for the Jets. Our offensive line is still Swiss cheese, at least according to the reports.
I mean, so many fucking players on the Cowboys get suspended for fucking domestic violence. It seems like they'd have a fucking course there on how to beat up women. No. You got to smack your bitch like this.
Oh boy. Guess we can move on to another topic.
Talk about.
What's that?
I got a bone to pick with NewJersey.com.
Why?
Apparently, and that's, by the way, that's the website of the Star Ledger. Apparently, they did a ranking of every single New Jersey mall from worst to best. And fucking Ghetto Garbage Mall got number 4 in the ranking.
I did read that article. I would put it up on screen, except I actually work in that mall. I don't want to get fired for people to actually figure out what mall that is. But let's be fair. According to them, I'll give the devil its due. They did redesign the mall. They do have more stores than your average mall, and the mall is like in walking distance of the airport, so you always have the tours. They classified the mall, not the clientele, because if you classified the clientele, the high-end malls that also made the list will be way lower.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's like that person never even has been in that fucking mall. Yes,
he probably never been in any of these malls, or else the second place mall would have never made second place.
Yeah, some of them I could see maybe, but not fucking Ghetto Garbage. I don't think that motherfucker even stepped foot in Ghetto Garbage. I think he just looked at a list and went, "Oh well, there's Tommy Hilfiger. Look, there's Charlotte Russe. Oh look, there's Kayfabed." And by the way, I am surprised that no black people ever bitched about that name yet. Fucking Kayfabed. Man, that fucking name is bullshit.
Oh,
God.
Oh, God.
And it's like, well, that clothing line is not for you. I mean, I've seen you niggas go to church. You wouldn't know fashion sensitive.
John uncensored, everyone.
And you haven't been kicked off of Twitch yet for this bullshit.
Apparently not.
Well, I will say we have seen. I will say before John goes on another tirade that we have seen John Morris's ass live on Twitch and they didn't get kicked off. So maybe
I guess maybe the Twitch censors aren't as stuck up as the YouTube ones.
So okay, John. Continue.
Every single store there is factory second out of season bullshit that they can't sell in their own stores. So technically,
but
really
to be fair, that's what people are coming for.
I mean, and then like you said, the clientele.
Well, like I said, if we judge by clientele, the second and sixth place malls would not be second and sixth place. They would be near the 20s.
But still, you got fucking homeless people there walking around and sleeping in the mall. You've got constant fighting, shoplifting. You got deaf people. You got people pretending to be deaf and handing out cards, begging for money at the food court. And by the way, this is the one thing that they knocked Woodbridge for. Oh, Woodbridge doesn't have a food court. They have regular restaurants. Well, fuck. You don't need a food court. Fuck you, the teenager.
Yeah, but think about it. The other 28 malls did have food courts.
I'd rather eat at I'd rather eat at an actual restaurant than a fucking food court.
To be fair, some people, while a regular restaurant is better, I agree with you on that. Some people like the hooker approach of eating food, hit and go.
Let me tell you something. I don't think I need to sit here and tell you all of you people about our stories with Ranch One.
Oh, we can have fun with Ranch One now that they're no longer there.
There's a reason why it's no longer there.
Let's just say this: during one of the training sessions I had, we were watching a choking video, and my supervisor at the time said, "Oh, they must have ate at Ranch One." We all got a laugh out of it. The only thing I got from Ranch One was the fries, and that was because that was the cheapest thing. That was the cheapest place that sold fries. That's it.
You know, it's another place that makes you sick. Borrow.
Oh, rubber pizza, and it's not just the mall. Go to Barrows in New York. That's just as bad.
It's like the only thing edible there at the mall is Burger King.
I know. Yeah, people line up for Popeyes.
I got sick when I ate at that Popeyes because they don't cook chicken all the way.
Something I'll tell you off the air later. I can't say it on the air right now.
But by the way, there's something that it's not on the topic of the mall, but it needs to be said because there is a location there. I still remember fucking going to Ghetto Garbage with my late fiance Rachel one time. We were passing Johnny Rocket, and it's supposed to be this 50s restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And she's up there, and she was like, this place isn't historically accurate at all. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you got blacks mixed with the whites. You got blacks actually working there.
May Rachel rest in peace, because I think you're the only match for John.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Hey, there hasn't been another one to take her place since.
Hey, that's how it is. That's how it is with true love.
She was older than me, and and I got to be honest, I stole a lot of my shit from her. So there would be no Johnny Blaze without her.
No.
She's like, wait a minute. They got blacks mixed with the whites. They got blacks actually working behind the counter. It's like, if this was a 50s restaurant, there'd be not a nigger in sight.
Why do I picture her laughing her ass off in heaven right now?
Oh, God.
Oh, I know. That's another thing leading into it. Fucking, get the phone. But you got those people. You got Bucks and Boone, typical nigger behavior. Then you got these Chinese tourists. They're the worst. You got the fucking rude ass Chinese tourists. They bump into you. They fucking steal your spot in line. They don't even bother to say excuse me, or please, or thank you, or konnichiwa.
Here's word. Good night, everyone. Yeah, that's pretty much what this is at this point, Reese. Go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
And by the way, they want to sit there and talk about, oh well, there's also a 20-screen movie theater. I'm like, can you honestly sit? By the way, that food at the fucking AMC and Jersey Gardens is substandard as fuck. You got stale popcorn even during the fucking 10 o'clock matinee, which is the first showing of the fucking day. You got fucking chicken that's burnt to a goddamn crisp. And when you try to go watch the movie, you got fucking people shouting and screaming at the screen. They tell you to turn off your cell phones, but since they don't speak any Ebonics,
I think your cold's slowly catching up to you.
Since they don't speak any Ebonics, they don't know to turn off their cell phone. So during the fucking movie, you hear that shit ringing, and then they pick it up in the middle of the movie. I'll tell you, if you ever watch like scary movies and shit like that, and ever want to see a stereotypical black movie theater experience, go to fucking Ghetto Garbage.
I like to
sounds like when I watched Deadpool.
I'd
And
like to
honey-
thank
and-
I like to
and-
thank you for for using the nickname, so I don't have to censor this later. Although most people listen to this will probably figure out what mall this is. But let's just say this: the number 2 mall, believe it or not, has a higher crime rate.
So, that's
John?
that's exactly what I take every time I come back from that fucking mall.
No, man. The number 2 mall in the Mist, which I'm not going to say the name of that as well, but it's supposed to be a high class, fancy mall.
I'll tell you this that really pissed me off.
What's that?
On that fucking list, Woodbridge Center didn't even. I don't even think it made the top 15.
Well, like I said, I think they said Woodbridge Center is old and outdated. The two malls I'm talking about are high class.
Here's the thing: I would rather go to Woodbridge Center than this piece of shit.
But would you rather go there than MP? Get the initials.
Oh, I'd rather go there than Ghetto Garbage, of course.
Oh gosh!
Oh,
you
gosh.
just did I tell you guys my Deadpool story?
Not on the air, but go ahead.
Oh gosh! No, you guys are talking about shit movie theaters, and I'm just sitting here going, "Oh gosh!"
We know shit movie theater. We had one in the city. It was the Liberty.
So a buddy of mine says, "Hey, we should go watch Deadpool." All right, so we decided to go. We should meet halfway in between where we live. All right, that's fine. So halfway in between where we live is either one or two cities.
I'm trying to mute this. Go ahead.
Which is either Downey or Huntington Park. Huntington Park is a little more midway, and the tickets were cheaper. I was like, okay, let's go over here. He goes, okay. So I drive onto the main street of Huntington Park, and I forget what the street name was, but I'll always remember what it looks like, because it made me yearn for the days that East Salinas was dangerous.
Liquor store, gun store.
No, well, I wish it would have been like that. Then I would have known what the theater would have looked like. But it was like they repurposed this area to be a strip mall, and then it got completely run down like 3 times. So I find the theater, and it's one of those double theaters in the middle of this strip mall. Okay, there are only 2 theaters at this place. One of the theaters was showing Deadpool. The other one was showing Kung Fu Panda 3, I think it was. Guess which one was cheaper?
Kung Fu Panda?
No! Kung Fu Panda at night was $7.50 a ticket. Deadpool was $5.50.
You lucky
Guess where the
bastard.
kids wanted to go?
Deadpool.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
'cause me and
course.
Louis had to deal with that bullshit.
Oh my gosh. So it's a whole bunch of, and I hate to say this, but this is the truth, whole bunch of Mexican families coming in to watch this. We go upstairs into the actual theater. It's a stair. You have to go up the staircase to go to the first theater, and then there's another staircase that goes to the second one. There aren't even doors that block the way into the theater. It's just there's little holes in the wall that you go through. You go to the bathroom, everything's been etched in with a knife, with gang signs and shit like that.
Oh, you probably been to Ghetto Garbage Mall.
Oh no! This is even funnier. This is even funnier. We go down. We start sitting down to watch the movie. The movie is fucking subtitled in Spanish. And I swear to this day, if I ever run into Ryan Reynolds on the street, I will tell him that story and say that was the most Deadpool way to watch Deadpool ever.
Oh boy!
Get a shitty rundown theater to watch a rated R, probably one of the most violent rated R movies of that year, with a whole bunch of Mexican families that are taking their 5 to 10-year-olds to watch, that don't have an issue with the decapitations and bullets going through head, but the moment they say Wade Wilson's girlfriend's tits, it's like, ay, no mira, and then and the whole fucking thing is in Spanish. And they're translating fuck as mierda, except mierda is shit, not fuck. Oh,
And
God.
it's still better than the Liberty Theater, which is what we had before AMC came to town.
Oh, God.
Now, John,
Yeah.
have you actually been in the Liberty before they converted it to a church?
I don't think I was in the Liberty, at least not that I remember. I remember being in Liberty, fucking New Park Cinema.
Okay, we had a theater called the Liberty, which was in
Yeah, I know. Liberty.
Walking, huh?
That was a Grindhouse Theater.
That was?
Yeah,
No,
for a while.
not that I know of, because I went to see Ninja Turtles in there.
They started like horror and shit, but like in the 80s.
No, the one in Elizabeth. The one with the sticky floors, a half broken arcade machine, and bullet holes halfway across the building.
Yeah, the one that's a homie church now.
Pretty much.
Because the Lord Jesus son said to buy a movie theater.
I love the. Oh boy. Well, there wasn't half my story. Though I do remember one story which me and my mom walked all the way from downtown to midtown with snacks so we could see Ninja Turtles. And we had the snacks so we did, because obviously you can't walk into a movie theater with snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Which Ninja Turtles?
The first one.
Okay.
And that was a fun experience. I didn't know what a good movie theater looked like until I went to Amboy.
Yeah, that's another theater I went to growing up.
And I only went there once. It sucks that I only went there once. And I didn't even know it closed down until like a few years ago. Because apparently the building was sinking slowly into the ground.
Because at least I know my godmother never wanted to go to the Liberty. Because I remember,
there was a
her
reason.
I remember her being over the house with a couple of my mother's other friends. Hey, let's take the kids to the Liberty. I don't want to take the kids to the Liberty. A bunch of fucking niggers there.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to go to that fucking place.
Not exactly the wording I'd use, but let's just say the more questionable members of society went there, especially since it was in walking distance at the high school. And because the students are allowed to leave the building, because they had to go from one building to another sometimes, you'd have one or two sneak in there in between classes.
I forget what the fuck was playing there that they wanted to go see. Oh, fuck.
That good, huh?
Hey, at least everything's coming out.
That's the good thing.
That's more than we ever needed to know. I don't know what else you guys have to say.
I'm pretty much done.
I'm trying to do some research real quick.
Because I actually have something else to talk about that actually involves what this podcast is supposed to be about.
Oh, go ahead then.
So, obviously, I told you about I was involved in some of the Wrestle Circus stuff. Obviously, I'm going to promote their shit just because I think the product is good. And of course, because I am a nearly certified Jim Cornette apologist.
Oh, we haven't got your certification certificate yet?
I'm going to either have to talk to Jim or Stacy, which would probably work out better, but I don't know. Maybe the dog knows better than they do. I don't know. Harley Quinn's interesting. Anyway, so I'm talking with some people on a Discord about this, and I'm talking about, how Cornette, some of his ideas and what he's talking about, particularly in terms of drawing money.
Yeah.
He kind of knows what he's talking about. At which point, one of the persons in the chat speaks up and says, "Everything that Jim Cornette has said is unsubstantiated," or something to that effect. I went, "Oh gosh, you don't want to get me started." So I decided to back away from that. Coincidentally, today I happened to catch one of the things on why Cornette says wrestling used to draw and how much money people used to make. You know, Lawler worked on a past Monday and got $3,000 out of it, and that was in the 80s. If you're, Ole Anderson, as much as a lot of people like to hate him, used to make $250,000 a year in the territories because he was a booker and owned a territory, so he got percentages. Motherfucker made $250,000 a year. Motherfucker made $250,000 a year at one point. In money, and these days that'd be nearly $1 million. That'd be nearly $250,000 in a year. When the Road Warriors, and the fucking Midnight did the scaffolding match, each one of them got $10,000.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember that. He was talking about how much the wrestlers got paid.
Which of course, most of that probably went to fixing one of his knees.
Hey,
God.
Hey, no one said this wasn't without price.
Well, I mean, Bubba should have caught him better, but there's, and then he talks about, how what was it, Mid-South Wrestling? In 4 cities, they drew over 1 million people in those areas for 4 shows, and that was before they had pay-per-view. That was before they had closed circuit. And now the people are getting paid less per capita over time than they did back then. You could be low. I mean, yeah, you could be low card and make $300 a week, but that was $300 a week in 1970 and 1980. Today's money, that's what, $900? Maybe 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the top people made money. Top people made fucking money. Lawler said to Cornette, when Cornette was still a photographer, when he caught a look at the check that Lawler had on his desk, that $3,000 that he did for working on a Monday. For a half hour on Monday, working in a ring. And Lawler goes up and says, "Hey, if you stay long enough in this business, you can make money. You'll get a check like that."
That's why Lawler never left.
That's why he never left until the territories really dried up. Fucking JYD made so much money in fucking Mid-South. DiBiase didn't, but then, he got big in New York. Fucking Ric Flair making $10,000 on a house show.
Yep.
You have to look at the gates that they used to draw. You have to look at the places they used to draw at, and how these things used to go in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Unsubstantiated, my fucking half yellow, half white ass. Shit. I was so pissed at that for a while, and I had to let it brew for a while until I found that thing. I'm like, here's the fucking proof, you moron. Look at all this shit. I would love to see the boys making that kind of money again. In today's money. I would love to see the main eventers make $3,000 for working half an hour one night.
Let me see. Let me check how much $3,000 is in.
No, I mean in today's money.
No, man. It's going to put it in a calculator. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Because now everybody's got guaranteed contracts and salaries.
There were even guarantees back then, but guarantees were $1,500.
Which is another reason why these fucking people don't want to move up. They're comfortable, like JR said, they're too comfortable in their spot.
Well, some are, but at the same time, it's $1,500 a week, and you don't really necessarily have to go anywhere because you'd still be able to sleep in your bed, and you'd still be able to just sort of hang out till you have the match. Unlike today, where everybody not only has to make the money, but they now also have to. They're also independent contractors on a national scale. They're not on a local scale. They're not on a state scale. So now you've got business expenses to put in. You got, flights, and you've got other shit. Now, I would love to see the big money. But DDP is right. He's just agreeing with what you're saying, John.
Damn. Okay. Now I put $3,000 in 1950 since that's the farthest back we could go.
Yeah.
That today that will be over $30,000.
Yeah. Now back then it was probably closer to $1,000.
Well, okay, let me put
But
the
still,
$1,000.
that's 10 grand.
That's still like
That's still
10
10
grand.
grand.
Yeah.
Like Jim Ross, not Jim Ross. It's like fucking Cornette said though.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just over 10 grand.
The top 5 highest paid professional athletes, 4 of them were professional wrestlers.
Yeah. And then the other one was a boxer.
Yep.
Fuck. You know, and while the NFL was there, this is before they exploded again.
Mm-hmm.
Because the NFL was always there, but
Well,
then
the NFL was always there, but it didn't really explode until I guess the merger of the AFL.
what the
Even
70s?
Yeah, even though they should be paid more than the NBA players. I mean,
That
the
is
NBA.
That is true,
Yeah.
but I guess the NBA plays more games. Though the NFL, their games are short because, well, your career is that much more shorter.
Here's the thing: the NBA, all they do is run up and down a fucking court and bounce the ball around and throw a ball into a hoop. Football players have to put on full pads. They constantly get tackled every play. Most of them suffer from CTE. You know, the lifespan of a football player is maybe only like 5 or 10 years if they're lucky. Whereas in the NBA,
you mean the career?
Yeah. So to me, it always should have been like I was taught: the higher the risk, the greater the reward.
So in that case, if we use it nowadays, it'll be mixed martial arts.
Well, they already get good money, and boxers.
And boxers.
Actually,
it's fucking $50 million a fight.
What are you about to say?
Yeah, MMA doesn't make that. MMA doesn't make the kind of money that boxing makes.
No, boxing still makes the superior money. Why do you think? Why do you think this is the highest ranked fight that Conor McGregor's going to get in a couple of weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Conor could more than retire 5 times off of that kind of money.
Yeah, I think all of us could retire 5 times over.
More than 5.
I think we go just if you're going to pay me a couple $1 billion just to get punched in the face by Floyd Mayweather, I'll take it. I'll have more than enough money to I'll have more than enough money to do facial reconstructive surgery afterwards.
Here's the thing: the higher the risk, the greater the reward. Which is why construction people get so much money, and police get so much money.
Well, that and the unions also, but
by the way, the fact that these fucking burger flippers want $15 an hour just for stuff that is pretty much, automated is bullshit.
Like,
they don't do nothing.
I understand the concept of wanting a living wage because $15 an hour is going to get you what you need: a place to live, food, a decent amount of food, then your utilities.
Not in California, it won't.
I said in general, and not in New York either, or barely in New Jersey. I'm just using it as a medium.
Yeah.
But being a burger flipper is supposed to be more of a high school job, not
It's
something
supposed
you're
to be a transitional job.
Not something you do full time. If you're an adult, you're not supposed to be a burger flipper. You're supposed to be managing the burger flippers, and that's where you get your $15 an hour from. Like I said, I understand, but that's not But that shouldn't be the type of job that you're supposed to be using full time.
Especially when some of the time they can't even get my fucking order right, even like I'm in plain English. When I tell you, hey, I don't want any fucking onions on my burger, you put it on there anyway. Why should you earn $15 an hour?
Well, sadly, burger flippers is probably only one of the few jobs that are replaced by machines soon. Burger flipper, taxi driver, security guard.
By the way, you know what we seriously need to do?
What?
You know how WrestleCrap has a fucking RG's trip to the grocery store?
Alright, so I assume you have a trip to the burger point?
No, I actually have a trip to the grocery store.
Oh, well, go for the trip to the grocery store.
Well, I go to the grocery store because I want to pick up some soda, and Stop and Shop had it for 5 for $5 this week. So I go to the store. and also come to find out my aunt wants toilet paper, which is on sale. So I go inside the store. Now, mind you, she didn't tell me what to pick up. And I see, a couple of toilet papers to pick up, which I could figure out it wasn't it. I finally pick up a store paper that somebody left lying around, and come to find out that it was Scott 20 packs. And somebody just happened to be working in that aisle. So, and apparently this guy just came off the fucking boat and didn't understand a word of English. So I asked him, I'm like, can you get the manager? Because a lot of times in a store, if they don't have something, sometimes the manager will approve a replacement. They will say, well, we don't have a 20 pack. We have 2 of these 10 packs we can give you. But anyway, I speak to a manager, and he's like, oh, you want manager? You go customer service. I'm like, so you have a walkie-talkie right there. You can't get on and call your fucking manager. No, you got to go customer service. And so I'm like, fuck you, goodbye. So I get my soda. And as I'm passing, I get a stark reminder that this is the first couple days of the month, as I see this fucking buck who's probably no more than 19, 20 years old, a fucking beanpole, like skinny as a fucking twig, in a checkout line, in a fucking motorized cart used for handicapped people. Mind you, the fucking guy wasn't handicapped at all. He's just fucking lazy. Because he got up just fine and walked around to put the food on the fucking conveyor belt. So I go pick up my soda, and then I have to go to customer service because they're fucking morons over there, and see more bucks and boons, especially the kids running around and their parents unattended. A bunch of people. Now I always said that you can tell who's on government assistance and who isn't.
Oh,
if you're working for a living, you don't have that much stuff in your cart or on your conveyor belt. But if you have EBT, all of a sudden you have full cart. You're buying steak and fucking shrimp and fucking the expensive brand.
I work and I don't buy steak and shrimp.
Exactly. That's how you know somebody's. And sure enough, I see him pull out the fucking EBT card, the Family First card. But anyway, so I go to customer service. Now this just show you the intellect of the common Negro here in Elizabeth, New Jersey. A fucking buck and a boon working.
Send your hate mail to.
Fucking buck and a boon working the fucking customer service counter. Now, normally, if white people were to work there, Hispanic people or somebody else, or a normal black person, they would know that, okay, we got 2 people working here, okay, and behind the counter. Now, we have one for Western Union, one for everything else. They didn't do that. Instead, it's one line for everything. Even though some people needed customer service, others needed Western Union. Because, you need to send out money orders for your bills.
Yeah.
So instead of splitting the line in 2 and say, okay, I'll take the Western Union, you take the regular customer service issues. No, it's just all one line. So I'm in their fucking line that's going almost out the door for 20 minutes. Just waiting for a fucking rain check. So I go to I get my fucking rain check finally. And this is where I was actually discriminated against myself. Now, when when the black customers went up to the fucking counter and needed to check out, this fucking bitch bagged their groceries. Now, when I checked out there after I got my rain check, she did not bag my groceries. And I looked at her, I'm like, aren't you going to bag my groceries? And she said, oh, no, you can bag them over there at self-checkout. Now, the reason I didn't open my mouth to start a fucking argument is because there was a cop about 2 feet away patrolling the store. I didn't feel like going to fucking jail. So I was like, you know what? Let me get my shit and get the fuck out of here. I'll call corporate in the morning. But such a lovely trip to the grocery store. And this is exactly why I hate going to the grocery store in the first week of the month. You got lazy, incompetent fucking employees, where even lazier, incompetent fucking people, welfare mooches, that all they do is sit there and spend the taxpayers' money, fill up their fucking carts with shit that even working people can't afford. Fucking ridiculous. I mean, we get steaks every now and again. We never get shrimp here. You know, we basically get by on chicken breasts and pork and rice and fucking vegetables. Meanwhile, and that's barely scraping by. Meanwhile, these fucking people got potato chips and soda and candy and fucking Hostess cakes and shit and steak and shrimp and fucking Hebrew National hot dogs and Wonder Bread. But I'm a fucking
Wonder Bread. Why are they getting Wonder Bread? I thought they were spending money on good stuff.
Yeah, good question.
Well, Wonder Bread is a brand. I'm just,
I know it's also shit. You mentioned the steak and the shrimp and the nice hot dogs, and then they get shit bread.
Well, they're probably getting the brand name. It's like getting a bottle of Budweiser. You're not getting Budweiser for quality beer. You're getting Budweiser because it's there.
For the brand. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was even a campaign for Wonder Bread that was called Wonder What's in It, because there was nothing in it. Even the rats would avoid that shit. If rats will avoid Top Ramen, and they'll avoid Wonder Bread because there's nothing in it. There was nothing in it.
That's because 90% of Top Ramen is salt.
Exactly, but it's the same. But there's no nutritional content in Wonder Bread either. It's only recently that they started enriching the bullshit.
But that's another thing too. Then that's another loophole. I mean, if you use regular food stamps that's on the card, you can only get generic stuff. Yeah. But if you use the WIC cash, you can get whatever the fuck you want, even fast food.
Yeah, I know about that. That's just to open up. That's just to open up more avenues of spending money and being able to take certain things in. But
it's like, if you can't afford nothing, you shouldn't be able to get nothing. If you don't want to sit there and work for a living, it should be the people that actually work for a living should be able to afford everything. The people that work for a living should be getting paid better than what they're getting paid.
Yeah.
But
exactly, because when you got, and I've seen and heard this, by the way, when you've got fucking welfare recipients getting $1,000 a month just in food stamps and WIC cash, and most people that I know can barely clear $1,200 a month and they work, there's a fucking problem there.
Yeah, and WIC is only for families.
Yeah, that's supposed to help.
That shouldn't be for single people at all.
Yeah, it's supposed to help. It's supposed to help you able to raise your kids. It's supposed to.
Yeah.
So
you're supposed to use fucking and most WIC, if unless they've changed it in the past 4 or 5 years, is still done on a coupon basis. It's still done on a voucher basis. It's not done off of the cards.
No, everything in Jersey is done on a card now.
Oh wow! So you can abuse the shit out of it.
Unfortunately,
because even in California, they're still using the paper voucher system. You have to get this particular product at this point with these things. You can't go outside of that.
Use the shit out of it. Hey Ty, quick question.
Quick answer.
How many fucking times did we go to Pathmark or Stop and Shop or ShopRite and have people waiting at the aisles to say, "Oh well, can you get me a carton or a pack of cigarettes?" and basically do a trade-off for WIC cash?
Well, back when I actually went to the supermarket in the day, that would be at least once a month.
Yeah, they basically camp out at the fucking cash register and say, "Yo, man, if you get me a carton of cigarettes," which is about $50-$60, which is about $60-$70, by the way, here.
And forget about it wasn't a Stop and Shop because the cops would be there nowadays. But
I've seen it at ShopRite and Pathmark.
Baba say and we had this supermarket right by the port, and that's when it was the most infamous.
Yeah, and basically they were like, "Oh well, yo man, if you get me a carton of cigarettes," which is like I said,
because the port Because at the time, the projects was literally a walking distance of the port. So, yeah, you could do the math there.
Yeah. And they would basically say, well, if you get me a carton of cigarettes, I'll give you $100 in my food stamp.
Yeah, I know about that.
Oh, wow. They even have that in Cali?
I've seen people do that, but they can't do that with.
And they do that with liquor too.
They can't do that with WIC.
No, because you can't do that. You have to surrender the card, and that's just something they're not going to do.
Now, what they do is if obviously the whole motif is, well, it's supposed to be if you get them what they want, they're supposed to swipe their card when you get your food. That's how it's supposed to work. A lot of times, they just leave you hanging. For the people that are stupid enough to do it. Because the older people would sit there and go, oh, well, I'm just helping out a fellow citizen in need. And then they get taken for a ride.
Yeah, it's carton of cigarette. Yeah, because I know of people that have abused that particular system, but they have to do it. But they have to do it off of the food stamp cash. They can't do that off of the off of WIC because they were still doing the coupons.
They do it with the WIC cash.
That's fucked up.
But still, my grandfather almost fell for that shit. I'm like, no.
That's fucking bullshit.
It's so ridiculous. Welfare, the whole idea of welfare is to be a supplement for people that are actually working. Not for a bunch of fucking mooches to sit on their ass all day and smoke weed and watch booty videos on BET and watch World Star Hip Hop on their Obama phone.
Hey. There could be booty shows on other channels.
They could be watching Japanese hentai. I need to throw a joke. In there, depending how tense the situation was.
Oh God! I was just trying to say, hey, look, it's not just BET that has booty shows.
Oh boy, I guess this is a good place to leave off, unless we actually have another topic we want to roll through.
Instead of worrying about the immigrants and all this other bullshit, why doesn't Trump do anything about these fucking leeches? That's what's hurting the country more than the illegal immigrants.
The what?
Because the illegal immigrants actually come over here to work and earn a living. Why doesn't Trump do something about welfare and all these fucking people that abuse the system?
Because enough of the people abuse the system to the point that if that stuff gets taken away, you then have a human rights crisis.
Yeah, because believe it or not, even if you hate the adults that are abusing it, it's still the kids that get affected by it the most, and that's the problem. And Reese, you can send me that Russell. You can send me that Russell Crap-Cocoon music anytime.
But I would be.
Say again, John.
Life sucks, and then you die. You got to deal with it.
Yeah, but taking from experience, that's not something a 10-year-old should learn that fast.
I did.
Yeah, and I'm still saying a 10-year-old shouldn't have to learn that.
And I agree with Ty. You shouldn't have had to learn that. It sucks to have to learn that. We shouldn't have that problem, and we do. I am all for reform being able to protect the system to the degree to be able to get people on it. I mean, for crying out loud, it's one of those things where it's like, for me, if I were on this kind of a system, which I'm not, I would have to showcase that I am looking for work, that I am doing this, I am doing that. And sure, I can abuse the system that way too by saying, yeah, I can, I signed up this, I signed up for that and whatever. But I at least am doing something. I fucking attended a class to get I have 2 fucking degrees.
Oh, so you're a professional student.
Shit, don't get me started. Don't get me fucking started. I have 2 fucking degrees. I know what you're talking. I know a couple people that were like that. I have fucking 2 degrees. I have a fucking computer science degree and an MBA. And look how well that's gotten me.
For those
I'm
of you,
now trying to get my certificate. I'm a certificate in licensing in pharmacy tech because it's money,
What are you about to say,
and
John?
there's a demand for it.
and for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, professional student is pretty much like certain people on welfare. They get letters every now and again. They get letters in the mail when it does work like it's supposed to, where they basically say, "Hey, look, we need proof that you're at least trying to improve your situation, or we're going to cut you off." So what they do, and welfare is supposed to pay for your schooling. So what they do is they'll go for a couple classes or a first semester just to get welfare off their back and keep their benefits, and then they stop going, and then they repeat the cycle when they get the next letter in the mail. And that's where the term professional student comes from.
So in about 30 years, they'll probably have their masters because they do have to still pass their classes, I assume.
Well, I'm sure they still. I basically all they're looking to see is if there's a receipt to spend the money on this thing to be able.
So they're not.
Really,
so they're not actually looking at the grade.
Because here's the thing: the class that I took was only 2 months, for 2 months, and it was only one class. You know,
The class
was only
2 months.
The weird part though, and they'll never do this because it's considered racist, even though it's common sense. Start drug testing these people. Because I guarantee
I would drug test everybody.
No, because you have just as many white people failing as black.
No, but listen. Number one, I guarantee you that if we start drug testing these welfare recipients, about maybe 70 to 80% of them will fail and will be taken off the benefit. And number two, if we have to take piss tests as working folks to keep our jobs every now and again, if we have to submit ourselves to random drug screening, why can't welfare recipients?
Sure.
But once again, we come back to the original problem. What do you do about the kids? Because you can't have the kids starve. Once you're an adult, you're on your own. But as a kid, do you think it's fair for someone to starve to death and they don't even have a chance to work to defend themselves?
And then the kids are put into a system that is also
just as
bad. And that screws with their minds even more. And that's just kind of like, it's
one of those.
Here's the thing. What about all those kids that are part of working families that their parents would lose a job if they failed the piss test? What about them?
Once again, that still sucks.
Oh,
but then they have welfare to fall back on.
And by that point in time, other shit gets involved as well, because those people, in circumstances like that, which are going to be far less common than what you're describing, in different areas, you're gonna, how should I put it? It's a situation where, at least in terms of a working family, not only is the person going to fail, it's probably a secret, and it's probably going to rip through the family in a different way than it would somebody that, say, a family is doing this, as a way to get by.
Let's assume we're talking about the nuclear family here. If the father loses the job to a drug test, chances are the mother is either not knowing this or is probably going to be calling some divorce lawyers, at least in the near future. Because if she didn't know this and she just found out, that's not going to be a very happy mother, and she might want to get her kids to bleep out that situation.
Yeah, or vice versa. If the mother
is the one that failed, then the father's going. Then the father
wants to get it out of there.
And the father probably wants to get the kids out of there.
Yeah. And by the way, that's another thing. Getting off topic real quick. There's another segment I wish I can do.
We haven't been on topic for the last hour, John.
I was going to say.
It's called Monkey Shine. Like stupid shit that gets done. Here's because I just found one. Checking Daily Mail's page. 8-year-old girl dies 6 months after her cousin dared her to drink boiling water through a straw.
Yeah.
Where is the adults?
Exactly.
And trust me, I'm firmly on the gravy train of we need parenting licenses. Because if you need a license to drive a car or fly a plane, then maybe you should get a license to raise another human life.
You know what that also did? That also helped welfare because you got these professional parents too that if they need a raise, all they do is have sex and pop out another child, and there goes another $200 added to your total. You know,
That didn't mean to go that direction, yet it went that direction. So where's my phone at? Because it's time to put on the hacker music to signify the end of the show.
fucking welfare is bad when you've got people around here scheming on how to get more money from the government. Oh, child,
How about going to work?
Oh, child, you can claim this and that. You need a raise, pop out another kid. You get $200 more for another kid.
And this is the point where this.
I knew it was fucked when I heard this fucking person bitching on their cell phone at ShopRite that they only got $1,000 that month for food stamps. I'm like, only $1,000? I'm like, between me and my aunt, we're lucky if we spend $200 a month on food.
Yeah.
You're sitting here bitching that you only got $1,000. Let me go get the fucking crying towel for you. My fucking heart bleeds for you. That you only got $1,000.
And with that said,
Legitimate children.
Thank you everyone for listening to our bullshit session of Hastily Kayfabed recap. Hopefully next week we'll have a somewhat normal show.
Wrestling?
Maybe. Until then, have a good night everyone. We will see you next time. Hopefully we don't get kicked off of YouTube.